welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little what is on my iPad video. Ever since I got this a couple weeks ago, I've had so many requests to share what is on my iPad and share some of the good apps that I found. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Had a few weeks to play around with this now, so I definitely found some good things and I am seriously so obsessed with it. Like, I'm so glad that I just went ahead and got it. I've gotten so much use out of it and I love it. I use it every single day. I will have everything linked down below. I'll have my iPad, my iPad case, my Apple Pencil, everything linked down below. My background, in case you guys are wondering, is from Pinterest and that will also be linked down below. But in case you guys are wondering, I have the iPad Air. It's kind of the middle ground between the iPad and the iPad Pro. It's like a nice in between and it does everything that I needed to do, so it's perfect for me. And then the Apple Pencil that I have is a first generation Apple Pencil, and the case that I have just holds the Apple Pencil in there, which I think is really nice. I definitely wanted a case that held the Apple Pencil with the iPad because otherwise I definitely would have lost it. I'm gonna scoot over so that there's room on the other side of the screen so that you guys can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and start screen recording so you guys can see my iPad also. As you guys can see, I have the same background on my lock screen as I do on my home screen. I have everything broken down into folders. It just looks way cleaner to me and way more organized. Like, it just, I don't know. On my phone, I have apps that aren't put into folders, but for my iPad specifically, I like everything to be in a folder and have a spot, and it just like looks much more aesthetically pleasing to me. So I have everything organized by folders, and then I just title them like something like one word, like super short, super simple. And the way that I type out my titles for my apps is to like just put a space in between. So this first folder is called the essential folder because it just has a bunch of like basic things that you need to have. So in my first folder, I just have, like I said, a bunch of basic things. I have my photos, which I don't use a ton on this. I usually use my phone for that. Same with the clock. I don't even think I have, I don't even have any alarms set on this thing because I use my phone for that. I have my camera, FaceTime, which if I'm gonna FaceTime somebody, I always do it on my phone. I don't think I've used this for FaceTime yet. I have notes, which I also don't tend to use on this. I tend to just use my phone for notes because I can take my phone with me and I like being able to jot things down like wherever I am. And then I have settings and the App Store, which of course I use the App Store all the time. My next folder is the extra folder, and it's the extra folder because it's stuff that I don't really use. I don't use my contacts. I don't use Find My Phone. I don't use voice memos like at all ever. I don't use reminders. I don't use iTunes Store or music. Like, I don't use any of those apps, but I don't want to delete them off of my iPad. So I keep them on here, but I just keep them in a folder that I know I won't ever really go to. The next folder that I have is school. So this has some of my school stuff on it. And it's funny because I filmed the What's on My iPhone video like maybe 2 months ago, and somebody commented and was like, anybody see that she had an extra screen? Because you can obviously like see how many screens somebody has on their iPhone because there's those little dots at the bottom, and somebody pointed out that there was an extra screen that I didn't show you guys. The reason that there's an extra screen that I don't show you guys is because that's where I put my school app. So I have my school app downloaded on my phone and on my iPad, but I purposely move it when I'm doing these videos into a separate screen so that I can like just keep that private. So in case you guys are wondering, that's what's on my extra screen. But this is my school folder, which typically has my school app, but like I said, it's not in here right now because I'm sharing this with all of you guys. So I have my Gmail, I have PDF Expert, which I found really nice to read articles on for my master's program in teaching. We do a lot of readings and a lot of them are just like random articles that our professors send us. So I found this really helpful to read the articles on here because I have to highlight when I'm reading or else I don't comprehend a single thing, like nothing at all. So if you guys are in school, I like highly recommend these apps specifically because I think they're really helpful. So with the PDF one, I can highlight things as I read. I just take my Apple Pencil. Let me see if I can show you guys. So here's an article that I was reading for, I think this was my phonics course. Yes, this is my phonics course. So you can like pick your highlighter, you can pick your color. I have like a pink highlighter color that I'm using, and you can just literally like highlight as you go, whatever you think is important. It just helps things to stick out. It's the only thing that like keeps my brain with it when I'm reading. So I've really enjoyed using this app to do my readings with. It's been a lot nicer, and I definitely think I've comprehended more instead of doing them on my laptop, having this, because it feels more like a piece of paper. I'm definitely like a paper person. As bad as that is for the environment, like I have to see things physically, and this has really helped that. So now I feel like I can do it on this instead of having to like print it out and stuff. I also have PowerPoint on here because I can go through my professor's PowerPoints on my iPad, which is really nice. It's just like another way because I can kind of put it up. Let me see if I can show you guys. If you put your case like this, then you can sit up and the PowerPoint can go through. It's just like a smaller version of a computer basically, so I've been liking using that also. I have Google Drive, which stores all my documents and stuff for school, which I'm not going to show you guys because it has like some school related work on it, so I don't want to show you guys that. And then the last thing that I have in this folder is GoodNotes, which I haven't started using too much for school. I've been like practicing with it, but I haven't actually like made the switch to using this instead of a pencil and paper yet, which I'm slowly starting to do. And so nice for your schoolwork, so you can pick a different notebook. There's like a bunch of different covers that you can pick from. They're like some of the cutest covers ever. There's a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different patterns, so there's really something for everyone. And I think this is really nice because it helps separate. I'm very much like a color coding person. Like with my school stuff, every subject has a color, so this is really nice because you can pick a different notebook for each class, and then it kind of like sticks out in your brain. And then you can also pick the kind of paper you want, so you can pick blank paper, dotted, squared, ruled paper, like all these different kinds of paper. They have planner templates. There's so much in this app. And then you can title it whatever you want. So let's just say I title it YouTube. I create my notebook, and then I can start taking notes this way. So I can literally just take notes. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. Maybe once I start using this to actually take my notes, I can share with you guys some of the things that I do with it. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to use it for notes, but I haven't quite done it myself yet. But once I start using it and like figure some things out, I'll definitely share it with you guys. I have a folder named Corona, which obviously won't stay around forever. Once this is all done with, all this quarantine stuff and coronavirus stuff is done with, I will delete this folder. But for right now, I have the CDC information just so that I can stay informed. I think it's so important to stay informed during this time and know what's going on. So I do have the CDC app so that I can keep up to date with what is going on with the coronavirus. And then I also have CNN because that's where I've just been like reading a lot of news articles from about what is going on with coronavirus. So like I said, that will not be around forever, but for right now, that's how I've been staying informed. Then I have this section called Home, which I also have this whole section on my iPhone. So I'll just quickly go through the apps that I have downloaded. Eddie and I are getting married in about a year from now, which is so crazy to think about, but we will be moving out, whether that's to a house or an apartment or whatever it might be, we will be moving out. So I've been like kind of looking at stuff, just seeing what's in the area, seeing where we want to live and stuff. So I have Zillow, Rentals, Zillow, Trulia, Apartments, and Realtor. I love all of them and I use all of them just to search what's local. I also have a folder called Wedding. I also have this folder on my iPhone. The apps that I use the most out of this is probably Wedding Wire and Etsy. Those have been like my two go-to ones. So with Wedding Wire, it just lists all your vendors from the venue, catering, photography. You can go through and look at all of them. And it's nice since we're planning a wedding out of state. It's really nice for us to be able to search what state we're in, which city we want to look at vendors from, and that good stuff. So I've been using that one a lot. I have used the Knot. Then I also have Etsy, which I use for a lot of different like wedding decor pieces just to see what they have. So I have like wedding signs. So this has been really nice to look at stuff decor wise that I like for our wedding. And then Zola I have, but I don't really use this quite yet. Then I have my little social folder, which is definitely the folder that I use the most often. Like hands down, I am in this folder all the time. So I have my Pinterest, which I am so obsessed with Pinterest. I think I'm on Pinterest like every single day, but I just love going through and scrolling and getting inspiration and looking at all the cute pictures. I just get a lot of different inspiration from this, which I really like. It's a lot different than scrolling through Instagram because I just feel like it motivates you more and gives you more inspiration than like a social media like Instagram does, although I do love Instagram also. Speaking of, this is what my Instagram looks like. I'll do a quick little scroll. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, it's also linked down below. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram. I love Instagram so much. So that is what my Instagram looks like. Then I have my YouTube. This is like all the shameless self promo. So make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you aren't subscribed already. And then I have YouTube Studio, which is what I use to mostly respond to comments. I have this photo folder, so I have Picmonkey, which I don't usually use on my iPad. I typically use that on my computer actually, but I have it on here just in case. I have Bitmoji, which, I mean, like I have my Bitmoji, but I don't like use it that often, but I think you have to have it on your device in order to like use it in messages. So I have my Bitmoji, that's really fun. Then I have Lightroom, which has all of my Instagram presets. So I have Aspen Over's preset pack, and then I also have Karen Swan's preset packs. I love both of them so much. They're like my favorite presets. And right now I've been using this one by Karen Swan. This is the Chunky Dunky, I think is what it's called. Cutest name ever, but that's what I've been using on all of my photos recently. So that's my Instagram photos. My favorite thing in the fun folder is Procreate, which I have been using a ton lately for my videos. I've just been trying to do like more like fun hand lettering things, which I'm not the best at, but we're getting there. This is something that I've been spending a lot of my time doing since we've been in quarantine, but I've been seriously loving playing around with Procreate. Then I just have 3 different coloring apps, which I love. I think it's so relaxing to color on my iPad. So I have, this one is Coloring Book Free, I think is the name of it. I have Pigment, and then I have Lake. I'll just show you guys one of them really quick. These coloring apps are all free on the iPad, and you can just like click different brushes and you can color it in by hand, or you can click the paint bucket and just like drop it in and color that way. I just think this is really relaxing. And this one specifically that I love has music, which is so calming. This is like the best thing to do if you just need to like distract your mind and calm, relax yourself. I think this app is so relaxing. And then the last app that I have is called Listen, because it just has a bunch of like random TV or like podcast type things. So I have Apple Podcasts, which has a bunch of my favorite podcasts on it. These are some of the podcasts that I listen to. I'll quickly read off some of my favorites. I always listen to Bachelor Happy Hour. I listen to the Gen Z Girl podcast on Social Butterfly, which is my girl Julia's podcast. I'll have that link down below. Easy Way or the Hard Way. A Girl and Her Mother-in-Law, Bates podcast. Those are like the ones that I listen to a lot. I love podcasts, especially when I'm in my car, but even when I'm just like doing stuff around the house, I really like listening to podcasts. Then I have Spotify, which I literally only listen to country music, but I'll put this up on my iPad sometimes to listen to music. Then I have Netflix and Hulu just to watch shows, catch up on shows. This is really nice because it's a bigger screen than my phone, so I can watch it in bed without having like my big laptop on my lap. I can just have like something smaller and more compact to catch up on my shows or watch a movie in bed. That is pretty much it for what is on my iPad. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I got some good apps to go try out. Some of them are free, some of them you do have to pay for, but I really love all of the apps that I have on here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe by clicking down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.